Okay, hello everybody, welcome to my channel. So today's reading is all about how should you kind of decorate your space and what does this say about you. So whether you are a homeowner or whether you have a room that you want to decorate or whether you're in a dorm room or shared accommodation or anywhere else, no matter where you are, this is just a fun reading about what kind of styles would best suit you based off of the spiritual energy that you're kind of putting out, that your pile is putting out. And then we're going to see what that says about you as well. And you might not even realize that this aesthetic would suit you so well, but in today's reading, you will find out that it does. So take it as it resonates. You know, this is just a fun one. If you don't want to decorate your space, then don't do that. But today we have 3 piles for you. So this is a pick a pile reading. So you essentially choose the pile you feel most intuitively drawn to, either based on the energy of the pile, the number of the pile, or the object or crystal on top, or even based on the numbers in the timestamps below, because that might resonate with you as well. So for pile 1, we have a Carnelian half moon druzy crystal. For pile 2, we have a bag of dried flowers. And for pile 3, we have an agate palm stone. Once you have selected your pile, there will be a timestamp in the description box below for you to find your reading more easily, and I will meet you there. Bye. Hello my pile ones, welcome to your reading all about how you should decorate your space and what this will say about you. So you chose this really cute crystal. This is like one of my faves, love it. So let's take a look. So first of all, we have cacti, the only pricks worth dealing with. Immediately that's kind of giving that you like to kind of not host too much. You like to have your space to yourself. You don't really like to have people around. You want to live alone and independently and just kind of distance yourself as much as possible from people. So straight away, this is kind of giving an energy like you invest a lot in your house or your home or your room, wherever you are. You invest in that space and making it as comfortable and homely as possible so that you never have to leave or you never have a reason to leave. So you may have a lot of houseplants, or it may be good to get a lot of houseplants, something that can just liven up the space because you're not going to have many house guests, and just make it really fresh and smell good as well. You also have the 9 of blunts. Maybe I shouldn't call it that. Maybe I should call it the 9 of B. And then we also have the 10 of chalices from the Buffy Tarot. We also have the King of Cups. We also have the Bear and Cedar with leadership. And for your crystal card, we have Rainbow Fluorite. My connection to my higher self keeps me calm and focused. We have the number 2. So maybe you might enjoy your house by yourself, but you would be open to sharing it with a partner as well, or potentially you do share it with a partner at the minute, or one other person. So this doesn't have to be a partner. We have grounding, increases and enhances intuition. We have manifestation. So I feel like you are potentially currently manifesting the space that you want. So you may not have everything you want at the minute or have exactly the kind of home that you're looking for or the space you're looking for. You might be living with people that you don't really want to be living with. So I can definitely see that you're manifesting what you want by trying to redecorate your space, by trying to make it more personalized to you. I see you as someone who's really, really spiritual. So I do see you as someone who's got really fantastic grounded energy. It's exactly why you kind of have this mentality and this attitude because towards like people being over and house guests and things, because you know your limits, you know where you're at, you've done all the work you've needed to do, so you're at a place emotionally where you're like, I just know that what I need is peace. And so this makes you like a really, really great grounded person. Very, very grounded. So I see you as quite spiritual. I see that you might be someone who would suit the aesthetic of having lots of like crystals, maybe lots of like witchy memorabilia, maybe lots of art prints on your walls as well. So you could, you know, be somebody who I could see in your space having lots of houseplants, lots of tarot cards, lots of crystals, lots of Wicca books or witchy books. I can also see you having a lot of things related to that. This card, related to the bee. So maybe you have that shape, glass sun catchers. I could see that in your space as well. I can also see if you went to some sort of specific university, or maybe you go to a specific football club or something like that. There's something that you are connected to, like either a place like a university or a college, or you're connected to some sort of club like a football club, a rugby club. Whatever it is, their crest, their like logo and their name and things, I can see a lot of branding of that in your space as well. So maybe if you go to, I don't know, let's just say you went to a university and they had a rugby club called the Bears or something, I could see you having a Bears shirt maybe hanging up on your wall, or a Bears like scarf and things like that. So I could see that. But I see you as very, very mellow. I see you having a small space that you fill with a lot of objects. So you're not really focused on this painting the walls a specific color or having a specific floor. You mainly have the capacity to kind of add things to your space. And so I see you adding lots of knickknacks and things like that. Lots of like crystals and candles and tarot cards and loads of houseplants. Loads. Like I'm seeing your space filled. I'm seeing those sort of like hanging plants, and I'm also seeing plants on the windowsill. Anywhere you can fit them, I'm seeing that. I'm also seeing potentially one pet as well. Maybe more, but I can definitely see pets as well. I think you've got a very like orangey vibe to your room. It is multicolored, but I would say there is a slight lean towards having a more orange hue to everything. Maybe you've got like an orangey kind of like duvet set, like bedspread. Maybe you've got a lot of orangey posters. Maybe you've got a little bit orangey walls, something like that. I'm definitely seeing like orange vibes, especially since you picked this crystal as well. But I can see I can see your room as quite, it's very neat and tidy, but it looks cluttered in the fact that like it's a small space with a lot of things in it, but it is actually organized. And I also see you're a very colorful person, like yourself, like who you are, you're very multifaceted, there's a lot to you, and so your room kind of says that about you. It demonstrates that you are this multifaceted sort of rainbow person with all these layers to you. There's a lot to you. You're someone who likes to relax. You also like to delve into your spirituality. You're really well-rounded, well-adjusted, calm. You're also quite adventurous, but then you also have a lot of loyalties to some sort of club or place that you went to. So that's another aspect of your life as well. And then you also, despite the fact that you're like very calm and zen, you also don't have patience for people who are difficult or rude or mean. So you've also got that energy, and that's coming across in your room because it's very anti-hosting. It's like, this is a space for me. There is enough room for me and my pet, and there is no room for anybody else. So your room very much conveys that as well. Your room, your space, your home, whichever it is. I think as well, your room might have a distinct hint that this is a hobby that you like to do. So there might be little trays lying around here and there, or a little tin or something like that, or a lighter here and there. That does kind of hint to this as well. I think you're someone who is also full of emotion, not in like a negative way, like not in like a over the top too much way, but you're in tune with all of your emotions. You know exactly how you feel, and that's valid. You don't have difficulty there, kind of understanding your feelings and expressing them. And I think that comes across in your space as well, because you've got like, you might have a lot of journals lying around. So I see that your room does reflect that about you as well. I keep saying room instead of space, which is making me feel like it is just a singular room that we're talking about, or at least a very small base. Okay, So that is your reading, pile 1. That is what I see for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, and I think as well as the orange vibe, there's also an essence of green everywhere as well, especially with the plants. But that was your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you felt drawn to any other piles, please feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Fridays for another reading on TìandTarot. Bye. Hello, Pile 2s. Welcome to your reading. So you chose this cute little bag of dried flowers. And your first card says to plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. This is making me feel like whatever space you have, you're currently accumulating things like furniture or like cleaning supplies and things like having a Hoover and things like that. Like you're currently accumulating those sorts of things. Kitty is here to say hello. She just knocked the flowers. Hello, beauty. Maybe you have a pet as well in your space. But it's kind of giving that you're accumulating things in order to prepare for the day when you do have a larger space and a space that is just yours. So you're working towards that goal. That's kind of what I'm getting straight away with that one. For your other cards, we have the Page of Pipes in reverse. We also have the Six of Chalices in reverse as well. We also have Moonstone. I allow my true inner self to shine through. We have the number 4. So you may currently be living with 4 people, whether that's your family, friends, or whether it's sort of like a house share situation. But you might be living with 4 people. We have Intuition, Inspiration, Goddess Energy. Oh, I can see how your room is looking, or how your space should be decorated already. Okay. And then we also have, so it's in reverse, but I've just flipped it so I can read it. We also have the Squirrel and Chestnut with Preparation in reverse. What was I saying? Oh my goodness. I literally said it feels like you're like prepping for when you do have your own space. And what do squirrels do? They hoard their nuts for after the winter season. So literally you're hoarding your things until you can get your own space to spread it out and decorate it. And then we also have the 10 of Cups. Okay, that's quite interesting because with the 6 of Chalices here, I feel like that's quite interesting. There's a lot of love energy and a lot of family energy. So it's making me feel like you do live at home with family, which might be exactly why you're able to sort of hoard a bunch of things, because if you weren't living with family, potentially the people you would be living with wouldn't tolerate you kind of like having like furniture like everywhere that you're just waiting to put somewhere. So I do see you kind of gathering things in preparation. So there's a lot of focus on you having objects as opposed to you sort of like colouring the wall a certain way or like, you know, having certain flooring. There's more focus on things, and these things feel... Pile 1 had a similar situation, however the things you're accumulating feel slightly larger and a little bit more practical. It feels like, especially with this squirrel energy, it feels like you're prepping furniture or like exercise equipment or maybe like hoovers and things like that. Like those kind of things, those practical things that you will need, you know, dishes and like storage boxes for like leftover food and things like that. You're building up those kind of things that you need. So it feels like you're definitely getting ready for that. I feel like you're not necessarily moving out to your own space. This might not resonate with some of you, but it might for others of you. But it feels like you're doing that. You're choosing to kind of stay at home with family for some of you because you're waiting for a partner to move in with. You don't just want to move out and start renting or have a flat share or share with friends. It feels like you're waiting to get into a really good connection with someone so that you can move out together. Or it kind of feels like if you are with someone, you're kind of waiting for them to be ready to move. And so I think that kind of comes across in the fact that you're like hoarding things. Like you are ready to go, but you're waiting on something. Either that's finances or you're waiting for somebody else to be ready, or you're just waiting for circumstances to change so that, you know, you can meet somebody and move in with them. So I think the fact that you're hoarding things does kind of convey that about you. It shows that there is something preventing you from moving forward at the minute. As we have Moonstone and Goddess energy, I'm kind of getting that you should have a lot of like gold tones in your space, a lot of like goldy, orangey colours, very sort of like moody. So like having sheer fabric over your lampshades and things like that to create like nice colours and a nice vibe, like little things like that. And I think having kind of sheer curtains as opposed to really heavy curtains that block out the light. I feel like you need light in your space, but you don't need direct light coming straight through. You need it kind of filtered by some sort of coloured fabric so that it sort of creates this really nice shine in your space. And also I'm seeing like disco balls, like maybe having one on the floor or one on the side to kind of cast that light around. You might not have many windows, and so you really need to utilise that light as much as you possibly can by having things like disco balls and those kind of sheer curtains and things to kind of create this nice sort of atmospheric space. Especially with the Page of Pipes, I'm getting that you need to share that light around and kind of make sure there's enough light in your space, more like natural light as opposed to artificial light. Especially with the Moonstone here, I'm kind of feeling like you also want a lot of moonlight to pour in, so kind of creating that possibility by using those sort of disco balls to catch that light is also a really good opportunity. As opposed to part 1, where we were getting more sun catcher energy, I'm getting more like you want to catch the light in a more subdued way with like disco balls and things like that. I also see you as someone who may have a few vases, like your space may require you to have like a few vases of dried flowers lying around. Like that's an aesthetic that would really suit you because you've got this like loving energy. You very much do like love. You love love. You know, you're here to love, you want love. So to kind of convey that energy, you have a lot of flowers in a lot of vases. And that could be dried flowers because, you know, they last longer, they last as long as you like. So that's what I've got here. But you might also like real flowers and tending to them and keeping those alive. I'm seeing an emphasis on flowers in vases as opposed to plants. So I am seeing you like the aesthetic of the flowers. You like that kind of like, it's giving goddess energy, having those flowers around that smell really fresh and look really pretty and colourful and bring something extra to the space. In terms of the colours and the aesthetic, I am kind of seeing, as I said, those kind of gold, yellow, oranges. But I think when it comes to the flowers that are in your space, they're going to be more like a little bit more exotic. So you're going to have more like purples in there and more reds and things. And it might be subdued by like some white flowers here and there as well. But mostly there's an emphasis on like purple, pink and red flowers. I think you've got quite a 90s vibe style to yourself, so that might convey in your room and your space as well. So you might have like a 90s feel to everything. So that would be things like a lot of jean jackets or a lot of like checkered tops that you like tie around your waist. Like that's the aesthetic. So I feel like that comes across in your room. You might have sort of like 90s things. So you might have a DVD player or like I feel like your room would suit that retro vibe. Your space would suit having like a Tamagotchi or something, like a little old Game Boy situation, or you know, just as kind of like a Walkman, just those sorts of things. I feel like having those cool little retro gadgets would also really suit your space. Like you have a lot of gimmicky but useful gadgets, so they aren't just there to look pretty, they do serve a function, but at the same time they're quite random gadgets as well. I think as well the fact that you gather a lot in preparation for the space you're going to have, it kind of conveys this hastiness, like you're kind of in a rush to move. In the same way that a squirrel is kind of running around panicked and hectic trying to get everything ready in time, you've kind of got that energy as well, like you're trying to speed things up and rush things along. I do think for some of you it could be that you're about to move, and so you're trying to rush to prepare for that move. because you feel like you don't have enough time alongside all the other things that you've got to do in your life to prep for this. So you want to kind of get ahead of it now. So I would definitely say flowers, prep with vases and things like that if you are prepping to move somewhere. And then I would also say go for those like goldy orangey tones, go for those sheer fabric curtains and sheer like lampshades and things like that to create that mood lighting. And also disco balls, so those would be really cute in your space. I think low furniture, like low bed frames and low futons and low kind of chest of drawers and things like that, those will help to almost create a bit more height to your room, which can also make it feel lighter and more spacious, even if there's not a lot of space. And try and find ways to work with the light that you do have and try and get more natural light pouring in as well, if possible. Yeah, as I said that, I'm not sure what happened, if it was a car outside or what, but a light just flickered across here, so there's some sort of emphasis there of you needing to work with the window space that you have. Maybe even getting like a little window seat if you can, because that would be quite cute, and then you can be as close to the light as you need. And also I'm seeing like little fairy lights or like low lighting, so you could have LED lights like around the frame of your bed that create that kind of low lighting. I'm also seeing tall wall mirrors. So those really tall, large mirrors that you just place on the floor up against your wall. I'm seeing that as well. And I'm seeing a lot of like wicker. Like maybe you have a wicker laundry basket or a mirror with wicker around it. That kind of vibe. That kind of like dried flowers, Pinteresty vibe, you know? Definitely seeing that. So that is what I'm seeing for you, pile 2. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. And if you felt drawn to any other piles, please feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Fridays for another reading on TìandTarot. Bye. Hello my pile 3s, welcome to your reading. All about how you should decorate your space and what this says about you. So you chose the grey agate palm stone. I love this. It reminds me of those like sour candies. Like, it's like the sourest one in the world or something, and it always looks like that to be. The sourest candy or whatever looks like a little flat egg yolk, like, so it just reminds me of that. Okay, so for your first card, you have the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. That is kind of giving to me that you might want to decorate your space right now, but you might not have the means to do it, or the time to do it, or even the energy to do it. And so you might have to take it bit by bit, you know, like picking out the paint and then waiting a couple weeks to paint. And then when you do paint, doing like one coat and then having to wait a bit before doing another coat. Like you're kind of taking your time. And I feel a restlessness, like you want to just get to the end bit where you get to enjoy the space you're in. But this is kind of saying like you can't really rush it. You've got to just, you know, go with the flow for now. So I feel like you have a space that you are decorating. So you could have like just bought a place or just be renting, or maybe you're just revamping what you used to have. But I definitely see you working on it. Oh, okay, so we've got the Empress. That's really cute. Yeah, I definitely see that you do have a space. That you're not like prepping for some future space. You're prepping for the space you've got now. You have the Page of Chalices. You have Amazonite. I think I very rarely get this card. So this is quite a unique pile. So my senses are in tune with my surroundings. Yeah, you're picking up exactly what to do with the space. You know what to do. You just want to get like some ideas, but you're very in tune with the space around you. You want to work with it, you know? And then we're also getting expression, balance, and inspiration. So you express yourself through the way that you're going to be decorating this space, and you want it to match you more. You want it to be a little bit more in sync, and you want it to be an inspiring space. So if it's like dark and gloomy and doesn't suit your aesthetic at all, then it's not going to motivate you to sort of like enjoy the space you're in and want to work there. And like, you know, sometimes if you're in a space that just doesn't suit you, you just don't feel motivated to get your work done or study or even like do simple things like just do yoga, or like just be in the room. You want to finally be in there and enjoy it. So we also have the snake and the fern with starting over in reverse. Yeah, I feel like the reason that's in reverse is because you're not moving, but you're revamping what you have. So it is like you're shedding the old skin for the new. You're just redecorating. And then we have the Hanged Woman as well. You want a brand new, fresh perspective. You just want to see your space differently because it's not vibing with you right now. I think you want something a lot more clearer. You just want it simple. So I'm seeing just like basic white walls, maybe some light flooring. It could be light brown or even a grey colour, but definitely some just a plain sort of base for you to start off of. You know, the room is your canvas, so that part has to start off kind of plain, kind of neutral. And then I see you adding colour by adding in decorations. So you're adding in like, you know, your curtains might be a nice like blue colour, or maybe you've got like pinky curtains or green curtains, but you're starting to add the colour in by adding things like your duvet, your pillows, your curtains, your furniture. Those are the things that are going to have colour. But the room itself, the floor and the walls, those have to stay like a nice neutral colour. You want your space to be completely different to what it is now. So you just want it very simplistic. I also feel like you might be living with 5 people potentially right now. So I feel like you could be in a flat share. And I'm kind of getting that your room, so it will have these kind of neutral colours of just like white, maybe even black. But you're then going to have colours that are more like pinky, purple, green. So those are going to be your main colours. For some of you, you're going to focus more on blues and greens. And that might be more your aesthetic. I'm kind of getting a little bit of like cottagecore vibes here, just a tiny bit for some of you, because there's a lot of like green going on. Like we've got this green plant, we've got green here, then we've got these ferns. So I am getting, and then trees over here. So with your blue-green crystal, I'm just kind of getting those like cottagey vibes. So you're going to kind of go for more that aesthetic. And I think as well, you wanting a simple space, what that kind of says about you, what that kind of conveys is that you feel like the world you live in is very, very busy and hard to control and hard to think in. You know, it's hard to think when there's a lot going on. So there might be a lot going on in your life. Like you're maybe studying something at university, and then you've also got work, and then you've also got family drama and like friendship drama. And there's just so much going on, and you've got so much to think about that you kind of just want this refreshing, clear space that's brand new, giving you a fresh perspective. All 3 of these cards are about perspective. So you're looking for a brand new perspective in your room. You want a brand new start. You don't want it to be what it was. Maybe it was very chaotic, like blue carpet and like purple yellow walls or something, and you're like, God no, I just need something simple. So you just want to revamp it in that nice simple way. And that's really gonna convey about you that you want a calm space. You finally want something where it's calmer than your life. It's kind of conveying your life might be a bit hectic and crazy and out of control. So you need a space that isn't, so that you can have somewhere to retreat to and somewhere to think and just sort of be for a while. It also kind of conveys the fact that you just want a brand new start. It conveys that you're kind of done with either some behaviors that you wanted to let go of for a while, like maybe they're no longer working for you. Like it could be sort of toxic habits, like maybe you just don't use your time conductively or how you want to use it. So you're kind of done with that, and you're now going to start completely new. So it kind of feels like you're also trying to transform yourself, as well as your room, as well as your life and your past, and kind of moving on from the past. You also want to transform yourself in that sense as well. And by having this new space, you feel like that journey is going to be easier for you, which it would be. You know, if you want to revamp your space, it can definitely help. Like, there's no 2 ways about it. Also, I do see you having a pet, just because we've got like 2 cats here. So you might have pets as well in this space. This could also mean 5 rooms. So if you've got 5 rooms, I do see you completely making everything very, very neutral. but then adding in colours and making things a little bit more lively. If that's the case, I see you sort of having a bathroom with like dark green colouring on the lower half of the walls, and then the upper half of the wall and the ceiling is white, and having a white tub. And then in your kitchen, I see you having like dark brown, dark green aesthetic with some black in there as well, like with your cabinets and things. And then I also see in your living space a lot more bright colours. Like I see a lot of like pink and orange and maybe some light greens. So maybe lots of plants, house plants and things like that in that space. I see a rug, like a really nice warm rug, like a fluffy one, but I see it as a white colour because you've got a lot of colours. Like you might have like a light pink couch and like a yellow armchair and then a white rug, and then you've got one of those like clear acrylic that's kind of rainbowy hued coffee table, and then again that rainbowy hue acrylic mirror hanging on the wall. But you have white walls, but you've got these colours through your furniture and your curtains as well. Your curtains are going to be like a pinky orange colour as well. So you're getting the colour through there, but it's also very fresh because you've got the white walls and the white rug. And then you've got like just a light brown wood flooring in that living area as well. And then in your bedroom, I'm seeing a little bit more dark, moody vibes. I'm seeing a bit more like purpley pinks, a little bit more dried flowers. This is your fun space where you're kind of letting your fun side out. So I'm definitely seeing that coming through. Any hobbies or interests you have, maybe you're really into like lino prints, you're having those framed on the wall as well. So I'm seeing that. And I am seeing a blue room. Something is blue. I don't know what it is because I don't think it's your kitchen or your bathroom or your sitting room or even your bedroom. It's another room. It could be your hallway, but I'm seeing something that has a slightly blue essence. It could be because there's no like lighting in the hallway because there's no windows. Maybe you've got like blue LED lights or something, or maybe the lights are so white that they're kind of bluish, but I'm seeing some sort of blue energy as well. But this is all kind of conveying that you kind of want to get your shit together, and you are getting your shit together. Like, you're trying to transform not only your space, but also yourself and your past. You kind of want to rewrite it. You want to rewrite your life and start anew and finally clear out that space so that you can move on and be the best version of yourself. So your space is conveying that. It's kind of saying this person wants to be the best version of themselves and they're trying to do that. And they will succeed. Like, this is definitely what's coming through with the aesthetic of your whole vibe in your place. Okay, I was just thinking some sort of blue shelving, like a blue ladder that has like decorative things on, like it might have your books or your CDs or maybe a lot of candles and things like that, and a plant here and there and some ornaments. I'm seeing that. Maybe like if you go to the beach a lot and you maybe pick up a shell or something, it might be on this ladder, but I'm seeing like a blue ladder as well. I also think some of you might have a game room. Some of you might like poker nights, or maybe you like card playing with your friends. Maybe you even use like traditional sort of your typical kind of fun games, sort of like Kaplunk and Monopoly and Frustration and things like that, or Twister. But I see you kind of having a game boozy room as well. For hosting, I am seeing that once your space is ready, you would host. I don't think you have an antisocial energy. While you do like your space and you'd like to experience it on your own as well, I do also think you have the capacity to host and sort of invite people in. Like, as the Empress, I do see you being somebody that people go to when they need a chat, somebody people go to when they need space from a situation and they just want to vent, and they want to be somewhere nice while they're venting to you as well. So I think your house, your space, and you provide that very well. Like, you provide that comforting energy. People can just come to you and they know that they're going to feel refreshed and get this brand new perspective when they leave, because you're going to give them lots of advice. And even if you aren't like giving them like just like a basic chat and you guys are just like working through things, even if you're just giving them like a nice night, like you're offering a party night for your friends on Friday or something, just that alone can be really like refreshing. So I think your house and your energy, you personally, you kind of give people this chance to also transform off of you. Like, your own transformation and the transformation of your space also rubs off on other people too, and it kind of inspires them to sort of be more like you and do what you've done, if that makes sense. But I definitely see you expressing yourself through the furniture and the trimmings more so than the floors and the walls. Like, I think you want to keep that all neutral. But yeah, especially with like the Virgo and the greens, I do think there's a cottagecore element to your kitchen and your bathroom. But yeah, that was your reading, pile threes. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you felt drawn to any other piles, please feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Fridays for another reading on TìandTarot. Bye.